What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Wednesday Paper. It's your boy Skinner, and man, I am so sorry that I missed last week. Life has been super crazy. I started a new job recently. I couldn't get a video recorded last week, but I am back this week, guys, better than ever, and ready to bring you guys a whole new episode of the Wednesday Paper. I thought it'd be cool this week also, instead of just telling you about my picks for the week, to also talk to you a little bit about my favorite books from last week. So let's jump right into the coolest pull list on the internet, the Wednesday Paper. So let's talk a little bit about last week. So I didn't make a video last week, I'm so sorry, but I did read books last week, and I definitely had a favorite that stood out above the others, and that favorite was the Riddler One Bad Day book. This book was fantastic, guys. If you have not read this yet, I highly recommend it. It's a series of one-shots that are going to be coming out. They're all based on different Batman villains, and they're all written by different writers. This one was by Tom King, and let me tell you, it was fantastic. Never have I been so afraid of the Riddler. I think the movie version recently of the Riddler was pretty creepy, but this even ups that. This is a super brutal version of the Riddler, and if you want a quick elevator pitch of what it's about, essentially, the Riddler goes out and kills somebody in the middle of the day and leaves no clues behind, which you know is not his MO at all, and he requests to speak to Batman. And that's as much as I'll tell you. So it's really interesting. I think they did a really good job of showing just how incredibly powerful the Riddler can be and brutal he can be. So definitely be looking for that one in your comic store. If you didn't grab one last week, I highly recommend it. And the runner-up last week for me was definitely Do a Powerbomb, number 3, Daniel Warren Johnson. This is just becoming an instant classic for me. If you're not reading this series, this is definitely one of the best books on the shelf for sure. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, like I know some people say, oh, I'm not really into wrestling and that doesn't really appeal to me. This has so much more to it. It's deep. It pulls on your heartstrings. It has some amazing panels with amazing artwork. I think it's going to be a favorite of mine every single week it comes out. So I did put Riddler at top because, it was something different, but Do a Powerbomb, absolutely phenomenal. Definitely go check that one out. So let's get into this week. So we have Grimm number 4 coming out this week. If you haven't been reading Grimm, you definitely should. It's showing a ton of promise, and it's already starting to get multiple printings and getting a lot of hype behind it. So you don't want to have to go chase down these issues later, guys. Definitely get on top of it if you're not already. The writing is amazing. The artwork is incredible. And Stephanie Phillips has already said she has the first 19 or so issues planned out. So this is not going to be a short run. It's definitely going to be something for the long run. So definitely get on top of this if you're not already. Another book that I'm super excited to get into this week is Carnage number 5. This series has been very surprisingly good. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, but really I've never been super into Carnage's solo stuff. But this one in particular, Ram V is really doing a great job on it. Essentially, Carnage is going around absorbing all these different characters. So he absorbed Hydro Man already. He absorbed Spot. So he has all these different powers that he's acquiring. It's kind of like the Cell Saga from Dragon Ball Z. So he's just going around absorbing all the androids, essentially. And he's becoming this godlike being. There's also this cool relationship between Carnage and his, loyal follower, who is obsessed with killing and just wants to be accepted by Carnage and wants Carnage to use him, and Carnage just doesn't want nothing to do with him. Carnage is just like, you're pathetic, you're not worth my time. And that relationship is really interesting as well. There's also a cop going on that he has something going on with Cletus Cassidy, and there's a whole bunch of different stuff going on. If you're not reading this title, definitely check it out. I'm super excited for this week's issue, and I think it's going to be a good one. Another book I'm picking up this week is Axe Judgment Day number 3. It's about the Eternals essentially deciding that the X-Men, they can't keep reviving themselves. They are doing bad things by doing that. So we need to eradicate them. So obviously the Avengers are not cool with that. So they're kind of on the X-Men side trying to help them survive. And the Eternals are attacking them with the Celestials. And there's this whole big war going on. It's been really cool. There were a lot of good action scenes, really great artwork. And I have a feeling that somewhere in the end of this, we're going to get a reset for the X-Men universe or, some sort of thing happening. So definitely keep an eye on this one. They can introduce a character at any moment. Who knows? So I've definitely been picking this one up, and I think you should be too. Another good one this week, guys, is Miles Morales, number 41. I believe this is the end of the arc, and we have Billy Morales, which is his sister from the future. What's going to happen with her? Is she going to die? Is she going to live? Is she going to come back with Miles to the regular universe? Is she going to stay in her universe? We don't know what's going to happen, so this is kind of the conclusion of that, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see what they end up doing with her. If she does step back into our universe, I think it's going to be pretty obvious that they have plans to use her in the future, so that should be something important. Honestly, this run's been fun in general. It hasn't been bad at all. So definitely check this one out if you're a Miles Morales fan. Another book on my radar this week, guys, is Star Wars Hyperspace Stories #1. And this is the return to Dark Horse for Star Wars. They were on Dark Horse. They went to IDW. Now they're back on Dark Horse. I do like the content that Dark Horse makes with Star Wars. And so if you're not picking this one up, you definitely should be, because Star Wars is on fire all over the place. There's tons of Star Wars keys, first appearances, and things happening. Look what happened with Star Wars 26 just last week. Ton of people went crazy, and it's up to like $30 or $40 now for cover A. It's kind of crazy. So Star Wars is definitely hot, guys. You can't go wrong with Star Wars. Definitely pick this up if you see it at your shop, because you never know what could happen. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another awesome week of comics. I'm super excited to go to the store tomorrow and get my new books and share my thoughts with you. If you're not already, definitely follow me on Twitter or Instagram. That's where I post more of my in the moment reviews. This does take me a little more time to put together the production, but if you want more of my instant things that I'm thinking throughout the day, definitely follow me on Instagram. All the links will be down in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoy your reading this week. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next week with another episode. Peace.